real. He was who he said he was, and wanted to give Jesus all the glory. And I like that. We had a really good interview with radio. And the amazing thing about radio is they can take anybody like me or anybody and make you sound halfway decent. They run through all these little compressors and stuff, you know. We came out sounding pretty good, didn't we, brother?
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you shouldn't hear it after you play it. Anyway, so let's come on, let's do a couple songs with him, and you can introduce him, buddy. And you're going to enjoy Dennis, you're going to enjoy his songs, you're going to enjoy his testimony, and Lord, let me get to this for a second here. I like what he said. I asked him before church. I said, do you mind if we audio or video the tape so we can give it out to others? I guess and said, by all means do it. All means do it. That tells where a man's heart is. I like that. So we're gonna play over here, I guess. So.
Yeah. So this is gonna ruin them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, huh?
Right here.
Traveling the highway home. Several instruments, zither and a sack button.
What is this again?
That's just Symbol Day.
Some old day.
Working out in the rain, tied to this dirty old ball and chain. Oh dear mother, I'll come home some old day. Some sweet day they'll turn me loose from this dirty dirty old calaboose. Hold your mother out, come home some old day. Some sweet day they'll turn me loose from this dirty old calaboose. Hold your mother, I'll come home some old day. Good job with this.
You too, buddy.
Thank you, brother. What a treat.
All right, well, I'm not going to take much time introducing this guy. I'm going to let him introduce himself. I can just tell you that a few months ago, one of my friends, a musician friend, said, have you heard of this guy, Dennis Parker? He posts these videos on Facebook, and he does cover songs of like James Taylor music and Glenn Campbell, which I love both of them. And so I just kind of ghosted him on Facebook a little bit, just kind of started watching some of his videos, and really was first amazed by his musicianship. And then I found out he travels with Ricky Skaggs and Kentucky Thunder and plays in Ricky's band, which was sort of icing on the cake for me. And then I found out he's a recovering alcoholic, which, I'm a therapist, and so that was even better. And so just all of those things. So I just sent him a message one time, not even hoping that he would ever agree to come do this. But I said, do you ever come and just do concerts and talk about your story and your recovery and play some music? And right away he said, I will come and I'll come. I'll be there. So this is such an amazing thing for me to be able to bring Dennis here and let you hear his amazing story. As a therapist, I work with a lot of people who are addicted to a lot of things, and some of them don't live very long. They die because of their addiction or their bad things happen to them. I'm so thankful that Dennis lived and that he's here to tell his story. So I'm just going to let you get to know Dennis Parker right now. Would you give him a nice hand?
Don't get me wrong, my life's a song to me. I wonder where you are. But from time to time it feels like I'm trapped somehow, somehow. This guitar is just a boy who had a ring in his heart. I can't believe he got this far. When I was a kid and the other kids were doing what most kids did, well, there I was, sitting on the edge of that twin bed, waiting till my fingers bled, got in my blood. That's not to say I didn't physically move around at my age. Oh my God, late at night or right here tonight, you might say pretty much, but behind this guitar is just a boy who had a dream in his heart. Behind this guitar is just a guy who can't believe he got this far. Well, I know it's said I'm blessed by me. Is anybody's guess? Well, I don't know. But I'm well aware that the man upstairs couldn't answer any of his prayers and lit mine. But thanks to him, my family and friends, and those who got me where I am, you know who you are. But with that in mind, the truth is I'm not the only one behind this guitar. I'm gonna sing a song that I know all of you know. I got sober about 4 years ago when I went back to jail. I've been in and out of jail for the last 20 years, 5 DUIs. Just couldn't handle my drinking, couldn't handle life. But I'm standing before you today, not by anything I could ever do, but because of the blood of Jesus. What can wash away my sin? The blood of Jesus. What can make me whole again? In the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the blood that makes me white as snow. No other found I know. Nothing but the blood of my part of this I see, nothing but the blood of Jesus. For my cleansing, this my plea, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious is the blood that makes me white as snow. No other found I know. Remember the blood of Jesus. of Jesus. This is all my righteousness, nothing but the blood of Jesus. Oh, precious sense of love that makes me white as snow. No one I know, nothing but the blood of Jesus. I didn't know that Kentucky was this far away from me anyway. Until I got in the car this morning. It's about 6 hours over here. Y'all should move it closer if y'all want to be a part of my life. But I'm really grateful. I don't believe in coincidences. I don't know about y'all. I've had too much happen to me, and God has proven himself to me in some pretty amazing ways. I don't have all the answers. And it's very, very cool for me today if someone wants to, because I used to try to do it myself. I thought I had all the answers. And then I remember used to walk through fairgrounds. Y'all see that sign that says, you know where you're going when you die. I used to go to these places to seek them out because I like to trip them up. And I'm ashamed of that. There was a time in my life where I wanted to believe that there was no God. And if he was there, he didn't have nothing to do with me. It wanted nothing to do with me. I'm telling you, folks, you can believe a lie. And you can make a lie into the truth. It's so amazing how the devil, he doesn't want to just maim you a little bit. He wants to destroy you. He wants to kill you. He wants to destroy you. He wants to take you out. And only a fool says there's no God. That's the truth. And I am ashamed to tell you, but the majority of my life, I have been a fool. But when I came to know Jesus, the cool thing is, I didn't surprisingly have all the answers. You know, it's like, you know, you get Jesus, and all of a sudden, you know, you're supposed to have all the answers to everything that's written in the Scripture. You know, the Bible says that the just shall live by faith. Amen. You know, if I knew everything, what do I need God for? But I have found it quite interesting. I used to have to answer all the time for my behavior. I would get drunk. I would black out. And I'd do some of the craziest things. And next morning, I would have usually an angry girlfriend that would say, I cannot believe you. And then I would just have to say, I'd have to, you know, first I would try to pry out whatever information she had, and then somehow come up with an excuse for my behavior. Because I had to prove to you, I knew exactly what I was doing. I wasn't drunk. No, you just... But I have found that I don't have to do that anymore. The coolest thing about salvation, and the coolest thing about my walk with Jesus, is my walk is very personal. It's a one-on-one relationship with Jesus Christ. It's going to be different than your walk because you're walking a different path. You're around different folks, and I'm over here doing the best I can, living for the Lord. But when people come up to me and want to trip me up, It's so freeing these days to not have to come up with some cockamamie story to try to cover my tracks. It is okay to say I don't know. You know, it really is. As a Christian, it's okay to say I don't know, you know. But I do know, and I have lived this long enough and been through enough hell that I will tell you that I'd rather be on this side. And I'm really excited the fact that I don't know what tonight's going to hold. I don't know what I'm here for, really, honestly. But I do know that sometimes Dennis is enough evil on his own. There's some song right here I'm fixing to do for you, if I can get in tune. This is a song, it's a reminder to me. If I'm not singing it to you, I'm singing it to myself. I do this, this is really getting my nerves. All right, y'all pray for me. At the crossroads of decision, I've always had the choice. Many times I've made the wrong turn, I listened for your voice. But there were those who point the finger at the company I keep. With a heart that's full of sorrow, there's no one to blame with me. Oh, see, from the weakness of my flesh, going over worldly pleasures of my soul. When pride keeps me from falling on my knees to see your head, save me from myself. My new daddy mother taught me right from wrong. One strong drink of liquor, son of anything but strong. When lovely ladies come on, smile, turns my eyes from God. Lord, help me in my struggle, keep my conscience on the job. Oh, see, the weakness of my flesh, though little grown pleasures with my soul. When pride keeps me from falling on my knees, see your hand, save me from myself. Oh, see, from the weakness of my flesh, though little worldly pleasures with my soul. When pride keeps me from falling on my knees, see your head, save me from myself. Oh yeah. You know, I feel like I'm an honorary Kentuckian. I don't know if that's possible. Nobody actually gave me a piece of paper that said I was. But I've been with Ricky Skaggs for this time for about 3 years. I used to play with him back in the 90s, back when he was doing country music. I was in his country band, and I went off and I stayed there about a year and a half. I played on one record called Bluegrass Rules. It was one of his first resurgences back into bluegrass music. I got to play on that record, but I always felt like I had a wayward heart. Couldn't be satisfied. I wanted to do other things. even now, I wrestle with that. I have to really watch where I'm at. Where am I centered with the Lord? But I've been back with him for the last 3 years, so I don't know if they say Kentucky Thunder. Ain't none of us from Kentucky. Not one of us. One of them's from Pennsylvania, of all places. That just don't even seem right. In Mechanicsburg, of all places, Mechanicsburg. He ain't mechanically inclined at all. But there's an old boy from, I think he's from Wisconsin. That just, man, we need to get some folks closer to home, don't we? I mean, I'm probably the closest one. I'm from Alabama. Grew up in Huntsville. I was born in Fairbanks, Alaska. Yeah, and we didn't stay there. My dad was in the military. My sister, I think, got the brunt of the majority of the traveling from the military, Germany and wherever Dad was stationed. I don't know a whole lot about any of that because I wasn't here. And Dad has always been real quiet about his military background and all the stuff. He was always quiet about his life anyway. But I was born in Alaska. That's where my dad retired in 1969. My mother called me her retirement bonus. I don't think my dad thought of me as much of a bonus. He was ready to start his life and enjoy it, and he ended up going back to work, which I believe I've been ticked off too. But one thing that me and my dad we had in common and we had at odds was music. It's interesting. I spent the majority of my life not really liking my dad. Because my dad, what I wanted from my dad was a hug and tell me how much you loved me. And, I needed your acceptance. I needed your approval. And I never got a whole lot of that. He just was a quiet guy. I got a lot of the information about my father from my mother. She would tell me, she said, Dennis, you got to understand your dad. He had a mother that didn't want him and a father that he never knew. And that's not a real good way to start life, you know. And what I found out through the years, and this is after getting sober and finding Jesus, we all do the best we can with what we got. You know, I mean, I may want something from you that you can never give. But I need to clean up my side of the street. I need to stop messing around with the little splinter in your eye when I've got a big old log hanging out of mine. And that's one thing I've learned in being sober, is that I'm responsible for me. God give me the serenity to accept the people I can't change. The courage to change the one I can. And the wisdom to know it's me. I'm responsible for me. You're responsible for you. And I had a real hard time with that with my dad because I was really trying to get something from him that he really had a hard time giving. And what I find is there's a hole within each one of us. And we're trying to fill it with maybe somebody else, or filling it with our job, happiness, and doing something else. And there's a God-sized hole that each one of us has that I found out late in life could be filled by only one thing. I didn't deserve it. There ain't nothing I could do in the future to deserve it. It was a gift. God knew that I was going to screw up, and He made provision for it.
Amen.
In His Son, Jesus. And all I had to do was accept that.
Amen.
Can't do anything to earn it as much as I want to. And And that want to has become a drive only because of the Holy Spirit in my life. I have seen myself do stuff in the last several months that I would never do on my own. There was a guy that I barely knew that I know from gospel music. He died, or he was dying. He lived in Missouri. I felt a sincere urgency to go see that boy. Hardly knew him. Why do I need to go see him? You know. And I was driving to Branson, Missouri, and the whole time wondering, what in the world are you doing? Jesus, take the wheel. And I didn't understand it until I got there, prayed with him. But I walked in there into his room, and he looked pathetic. He looked so horrible. And it still haunts me the way he looked. But words came out of my mouth that I did not expect. And I said, I cannot believe that God made me come. 12 hours to tell you that he loved you.
Amen.
Because dentists don't do stuff like that. Dentists still don't do stuff like that. I find myself doing things not because I want to, because most of the time I know it's not me. But it's so beautiful to see God work in your life, and you can't take credit for it. You know, I started singing under my air conditioner just to get sober. I got this little thing on Facebook. Songs under the air conditioning unit. I've got this really eyesore of an air conditioner in my apartment. I walk in there, and I remember the first time I walked in there, I looked around the room, you know, thinking, how am I going to situate this room? How am I going to make it look like home? And I found that the only place I could put my couch was under that air conditioner. And it was, you know, I hear birds chirping out of it. You know, there's a draft. It's just, I don't know. But one day I sat down under that air conditioner. I had an iPad that somebody had given me. And I put it out in front of me on the table. And I had the video as it was flipped around back at me. And I saw me, the guitar, and that air conditioner. And I thought it was funny. I thought it was really hilarious. And today, I have an album called Songs Under the Air Conditioning. And everybody laughs at it. But God can use an air conditioner. Amen. If you give it to Him. What I started out using just as fun, as an outlet, became a place that I could sit under and share my life. Not wear the mask anymore. And I'm going to sing to you what I think is the most beautiful truth in this world. Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. Let him alone, to him belong every but he is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. Jesus loves me. He who died, his gates are open. jail for many years. And this last time, it wasn't anything different. I've been there enough to know the drill. I know what to do. I know, eventually they're going to let me out of here. It is what it is. I had these great ideas when I was in there too. I knew I had a problem with alcohol, and I was unemployable when I was out. I pretty much drank myself homeless. I was living behind Costco in Huntsville, Alabama, behind some bushes. If you go to Memorial Parkway and hit Costco and look around to the back of Costco and see the line of bushes, that's where I used to sleep at night. I didn't stay there very long, but about a month or so. And I've told everybody, if you're going to be homeless, I'll tell you, try to be around a Lowe's or a Home Depot, because they have these outside sheds that are out in the parking lot, and they never lock them. So there's many nights that I went in there when it was raining, and if you can kind of dodge around the police coming around in the area, that's a good spot. But you really don't need to plan your life about when you're going to be homeless. That's not a real good plan. But that's where I was. And I went to jail the last time, and I had one friend. I had one friend, and this one friend had lost a lot of friends from being my friend. I think that's interesting, And this is something I like to tell the church. Be that one friend.
Amen.
That one friend saved my life. When I went to jail that last time, I would call her. When you're in jail, you just can't use your phone just whenever you want to. There has to be money put on your phone account for you to be able to talk to that person. So this one friend put money on my account so I could talk to somebody. And I was angry, as you can imagine. The one thing about an addict or an alcoholic or somebody that's going through some hard times, most of the time that person is pointing a finger at everybody else. And I learned too late that when you got a finger pointing at somebody, you got three pointing back at yourself. And but I was angry. I was in there and I just didn't feel like it. And things were just. I don't know where this strength came from, this friend. But she told me what I thought was nonsense. She said, "Dennis, God loves you. And where you're at right there, I couldn't think of a better place for you to be." Well, I really didn't want to hear that, but in retrospect, looking back, I didn't have to worry about keeping the lights on. Didn't have to worry about where I was going to live. Didn't have to worry about what I was going to eat. It's everything that Jesus and God's Word promises us. Don't worry about what you're going to wear. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about that. But I was at that place that even before knowing Him, I was being taken care of in a facility that I didn't want to be at. But this lady told me, she said, this friend, she said, I tell you what you need to do. You need to get you a Bible. You need to get back in it. You need to draw close to Him. There's your answer. There's your meaning for life. You don't think you matter? Well, let's see what God says. And what I found out is that I'm not worthy. I don't have anything to offer. But through a series of events, God sent some people my way. I believe that. I believe that. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, I believe that. I went to an AA meeting while I was there, and there was a guy that showed up that I hadn't seen in years. 15 years, 20 years. And this, by his account, said was going to be the last time he ever went to the jail because he just didn't see any results at the jail. And then Dennis shows up. Well, he was there to come get me. And I decided, I still had some squirrely ideas. I was going to stop drinking, and I was going to pick up weed. I'd found a guy in jail that I was going to be my dealer, and I had some great ideas about that because there's no way I was going to be able to get through life sober. It's got. I can't handle alcohol, but sure, you know, weeds from the earth. Let's take that, you know. And basically, what I figured out later on is that all you're doing is switching seats on the Titanic. You know, I was gonna go down one way or the other, but my life changed after an AA meeting when I realized the hurt that I'd inflicted on people by what I'd done. And what that did was show me my wretchedness. That was the best day of my life. Amen. The best day of my life is when I realized I was wretched. That don't seem like a good day. I've had some pretty good days in my life. I've held a Grammy in my hand. I played for 10,000 people. I played on the CMAs. That's some pretty good stuff. You know, I get to stand next to Ricky Skaggs so many nights. Best night of my life was when I realized that I didn't measure up. I didn't measure up to a holy God. I'm here, and I'll never measure up to that. But God loved me. Jesus loved me. And He made a way that I could have a relationship with Him. And that I didn't have to go out anymore alone. Amen. I didn't have to get tanked up, get on stage and play. Courage doesn't come from a bottle. Never will.
Right.
Courage doesn't come from your pills or whatever you're taking. Courage comes from stepping out in faith. And believing something that you can't see and is a mystery so many times. God's a mystery to me, man. He's just a mystery. I don't know. I'm not supposed to. You know the difference between Dennis and God? Is God knows He's not Dennis. That's the truth. Because when Dennis starts taking the rollover of God, we got some trouble. And I'm going to make a big mess of it. But Jesus paid for that too. Jesus was a carpenter by trade. An artisan, craftsman he was made. Didn't people come from miles around, far from this earth land? They the first to see the work built by the master's hand. frame, square, and level. His measurement's true. Didn't fix what was broken, make it better than brand new. Oh, I'd travel back 2,000 years. This time if I could, I'd like to see some other things Jesus made from gold. It makes perfect sense when God said, Savior, you would be carpenter, see you all working on me. Oh, all this greatest miracle, He took to me, said it would save my soul. I was worn and splintered, I was weathered by the rain, I was bound for the fire and rotten into the grave. Then He picked me up and He saved me like only Jesus could. God was more than mentioning me, the way He worked with me. It makes perfect sense, and when God said, Savior, you would be carpenter, see you all working on me. Oh, all this creation, greatest miracle, He took to me, said it would save my soul. He took to me, said it would save my soul. I know a lot of these songs you may not know. Anybody know Banjo Ben Clark? Anybody? One guy. Banjo Ben is a friend of mine that helped me. He's been a kind of a spiritual mentor of mine. His sisters are the Purple Holes. Anybody ever heard of the Purple Holes? Yeah, good girls. They're really tall. They're like 6'7". I took a picture with them one day. I have height complexes anyway. I date a girl that's, I always thought I was 5'9", and I dated this girl, and I told somebody that I was 5'9", and she looked down at me and she said, "You're not 5'9", because I'm 5'9". And I've been aggravated about that ever since. I've told everybody my whole life I'm 5'9", but I'm really thinking that I'm getting shorter. I think you flatten out with years. Is that true? That and your earlobes get longer. If my earlobes get any longer than this, I swear they're going to be flapping in the wind. That and my nose hairs and my ear hair, I'm going to just start braiding. You know? That's how this is. How I know God has an incredible sense of humor. Look at that nose hair. But this is a song that I really love that Ricky does. This is something that when I first went back with him, he did this record called Mosaic. It's majority of it is written by a guy named Gordon Kennedy. He wrote "Change the World" for Eric Clapton. He wrote this whole, he's an incredible believer, loves Jesus, wrote this whole record. He wrote this song right here, and I so relate with it. I believe that God is sprinting after us. Those times that I felt so alone, I felt that God was nowhere around. I was the one running, and He was right there the whole time. You can't shake Jesus. died on the cross up on high, with spikes through his feet and his hands. You can use him, mock and accuse him, sell him out for 30 pieces, betray him, slay him, do the devil's mayhem, but you can't shake Jesus. Crown of thorns on his brow, his eye on the cry, all of God's daughters he served, spitting on him, cursing at him, forgive them for what they have done. You can use him, mock and accuse him, sell him out 30 pieces, betray him, slay him, do the devil's mayhem, but you can't shake Jesus. I've had my facts, questions and doubts. You know there are those who deceive. I tried to resist, escape and dismiss, but there's one who is shadowing me. I can use my religion, break with tradition, say I hold out till hell freezes. I can test it, try it, but I just can't deny it. Oh, I can't shake Jesus. No, I can't shake Jesus. In the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, give me Jesus. It's the wrong key, sorry. It's way high. In the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, in the morning when I rise, give me Jesus, give me Jesus, give me Jesus, you got I'm on this world, give me Jesus. I think about that all the time. You know, the happiest times I've ever had in my life, I didn't have anything. Honestly, I had a place to live finally. The coolest thing about not having anything is you can't lose it. You know, it was really, I knew where everything was. And I went through 3.5 years of being sober. 3.5 years. But the coolest thing about Jesus is He forgave me, but He restored me. He restored me to sanity, but He also restored all kinds of stuff. I didn't have instruments. I didn't have a guitar. I didn't have a mandolin. I didn't have a amount of time, I was able to buy good instruments. And I sit back and I'm in awe of it. I'm in awe of what God can do with somebody that gives their all to Him. But there's times where I got stuff now. Stuff that's going to burn up. You know, I don't want, I left my house and left my favorite pick there. I love that pick. I think the Lord was trying to teach me a lesson by leaving it behind. I don't need that pick. I don't need to hold on to that pick and think that pick has some kind of special power. But I know where I want my heart to be. And when you give your heart to Christ, it's a full commitment. A lot of us don't treat it like that. I want you to have my life. I want you to take it and do whatever you will with it. It's not my will anymore. It's yours, Lord. It's not just showing up on Sunday and then living like hell the rest of the week. And I see so much of it. I was one of them. Got it all. Stuff don't matter anymore. It really doesn't. And when somebody says, come, share, it don't matter. I believe time is short. I honestly do. And every time the gospel is presented, you have to figure out what you're going to do with it. It's an opportunity to respond, and when you don't, you're denying. When I'm alone, when I'm alone, when I'm alone, give me Jesus, give me Jesus, you can have all this world. Give me Jesus. Can you say that? Amen. With your heart. I think about my friend, Cindy. She lost a lot of friends because of me. But sometimes, you may be the only Jesus somebody sees. It's very important. I ain't talking about being perfect. I'm talking love somebody. So when I come to die, when I die, oh, when I come to die, give me Jesus. up, staying around? Anybody get home and milk? There's a time I had a little place on Maysville Road. There's a lot of stubborn times. I know you probably can't see it now, but I'm pretty stubborn. I like my own type of music. I don't like people telling me what I'm supposed to like, what I'm supposed to do. You know, when I was home, when I was a kid, anyway, my dad used to play live at Carnegie Hall, Platinum Scruggs, every morning, live at Carnegie Hall. And it's a great album, you know, don't get me wrong, but not every day of your life. It's not that great. And there's something about a banjo that just, man, it's like, sometimes it's like darts. And that was the first instrument I learned to play, was the banjo. There's something about that instrument that was annoying enough that it got my attention. But my dad was trying to learn how to play. So I come from a lot of stubborn. My dad, so stubborn, man. He would never tell you he's sorry, you know. Anybody in their life like that? You never can say they're sorry. My dad, though, he had a big heart. But what my dad would do is he'd give you a box of guilt. Yeah, here's for what I did last week. Here's for what I'm probably going to do next week, you know. He was that guy. So I come by it honest. But I used to have this little cubby hole in my bedroom. You pull away the paneling on the wall. And I used to keep all my albums or my cassette tapes so my dad wouldn't get hold of it, because he destroyed a Dan Fogelberg record. I was playing a Dan Fogelberg record. It was his country record. It was a High Something Snow record, and I was playing it in my room at a low volume. And my dad heard it, and he came in and he picked it and he just shattered it in front of me. So I had to hide my stuff from him, you know, because the man loved bluegrass. He loved one thing. My dad was very simple. He liked one thing, and that was it, you know. And you're supposed to like that one thing, and that's it, you know. And there was one way of doing things, and it was his way. And if you didn't do it that one way, you were wrong. You were just wrong. And he wasn't stubborn. He'd say, you know, he was a nice fella. But I just felt that there was different ways of doing things, but not in my dad's house. We had one way, and it was Dad's way. But I carried that on. You know, we carry a lot of the sins of our father along.
Right.
I have. I get so mad at myself. I find myself doing exactly. The older I get, I wake up doing the same things my dad did, saying the same goofy things my dad used to say, and I catch myself, and what were my words? I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to say that. But it's in me, you know. But I'm stubborn is all. And I realize that. But you don't have to have a whole lot to come to Christ.
Amen.
Just a little bit of faith. And sometimes you don't even know where that's going to be, or when it's going to show up, or when, I just don't know. I don't, everybody's different. You know, it's like coming up to an alcoholic and saying, hey, how'd you get sober? Like it's going to work for them. It's going to be completely different for you. It's going to be a whole different idea, you know, because God works in different ways. He works very individually on each and every one of us. That's so cool, man. It's a relationship. It's a spiritual awakening. Whoa, this is here. Wow, I can do this? You know. You You can't, but God can. But I love this song. This is one of those early sober songs. I'm breaking anonymity here, but it don't matter to me. I attend AA meetings still regularly because I do it because I want to help. I don't do it just to keep sober, even though it does help me keep sober. It reminds me. I stand in complete remindance, of memory of where I used to be, and I don't want to return there. And I see a lot of myself and a lot of my stubbornness and a lot of the new folks that are trying to get sober. But this is one of those songs that I have found God. You can show up and not have any knowledge of God, and somehow, through a series of circumstances, by meeting certain people, somehow God comes through to reveal Himself if you want Him. You know, He shows up for those who diligently seek Him. And I've found that to be true with my alcoholism. If it hadn't been for my alcoholism, I don't know if I would have found Jesus. So it actually became a blessing. Because I knew I was toast, and there was no way out. I had no way out. I had no way in the future had it not been for the Lord. But I've got several people in my life that have a real hard time coming to God. They can't seem to grasp a hold of. I can't believe that there's, that God actually exists. And I have always told them, I says, if you, the Bible talks about us coming to Him as a child. You don't have to have all the answers. Have a few little simple questions of God, reveal yourself to me. And I guarantee you will. There's a whole lot of stubborn in this room. There's a whole lot of pride to let go. There's a whole lot of stubborn in this room that shows no sign of giving up control. I've drawn all the curtains, turned out all the lights, scared that somebody else might see. There's a whole lot of stubborn in this room, and there's no one here but me. Demons in this room, they want it all and they don't want to share. There's a whole lot of demons in this room, and none of them believe in fighting fair. Some sit on my left, some sit on my right. Talks a lot, it's hard to disagree. I'm surrounded by demons in the room, and there's no one here but me. I can't quite remember how to pray anymore. I can't quite remember mistaken. I've been making another long evil day. I'm done. I spent my last night in that prison, wearing bourbon, crying in the bars. Hey, I'm meditating, making peace with the past, and I'm not ashamed of my scars. I know I've been harboring grudges and nursing on, but clinging to bridges, saying blue. I'm not going to figure it everyone else. I'm taking along, I'm myself. The day has done. I'm done. I called up somebody who heard me. We finally settled that story. I had a right to be bitter, revenge would have been sweet. Forgiveness would end that war. I'm starting to see the big picture. These days I'm getting high over that. No more carrying my pain with a 3-day fence. That train's run out of track. I'm done. I've been harboring grudges and nursing on, I'm clinging to grudges, saying blues. I'm not going to bigger than everyone else. I'm taking along, I look at myself. I'm spending more time with the people I love. All the way crying like you know. I'm done feeling hopes, not going there. I'm living each morning with a smile and a prayer. New day has begun. New day has begun. New day has begun. I really appreciate y'all coming out. I know I'm nobody. It's hard to get out on a Wednesday night to come see nobody. Nobody you know anyway. Probably somebody you're never going to hear on the radio. And that's all right. I ain't trying to. What I did find important, that we all have a story to tell. I had, when I was incarcerated this last time, I keep going back to that, but this last time that I went, I got two messages sent to me by the assistant pastor of the church I had been going to a few times before I went in. And one of them was a message about you have a story to tell. And it's only yours. Nobody can tell it but you. God's given you your life and the things that you, and so we get so squirrely about sharing our life and sharing our hardships and sharing our struggles and not being transparent because we're scared. You know, and people that will down you for your transparency, it's because they're hurting too. They're struggling. And I encourage you to take the mask off, because somebody in your circle needs to see that. They need to see. You know, I tend to sometimes go into churches and, you know, you see Bill go up there and say, "How you doing, Bill?" And Bill say, "Doing great. We just built a brand new house. My son just got in Harvard, you know, and I'm moving up in the practice, you know." And I'm like, all I'm thinking is, well, I can't talk to you. I can't relate to you because I got trouble. You know, I may look like I got it all together. I'm still working on me. I still got stuff, man. I still got stuff I deal with. I still deal with my attitude and my anger and my impatience, man. Gosh, I'm a mess. You need to be honest.
Amen. That's right.
And going to church and acting like you're okay, that ain't fair. That ain't fair to you. We need release from this stuff. We gotta lay it down right here. Lay it at the cross. That's what Jesus died for. To give us life, give us freedom, abundant life. And, I'm glad that unlike Buddha, Buddha's dead. And I heard somebody here recently talk about, you know, I met the king, and anything else. That's the truth.
Amen.
It's King Jesus. But there are, I pretty much told you all my hardship, all my struggles, where God brought me. I want to tell you finally that I'm unashamed for the first time in my life. I'm unashamed of the gospel. I did not want to be this guy. I did not want to get saved and be the guy that was going around telling folks about it. It scared me. I've seen people get radical about Jesus, and it's just not becoming. But when he gets a hold of your heart, and you realize where you come from,
Amen. That's right.
where you could be,
Right.
I could be dead. I should be dead. If it weren't for that one good friend, that was Jesus to me,
Amen.
that pointed me straight to the cross, I'd be dead. And fine, I just want to tell you, for so long, I was shouting to the tops of my lungs. I remember hanging out with a guy named Greg Stocky, and we were two mutts just talking about how God was dead. The Bible was just not true. Denied. I was like Peter, man. Peter knew him. Peter hung out with him. Peter saw all the works. But yet when it came time, hey, aren't you that guy who follows Jesus? That's one of the guys. I don't know, not me. I did that. I don't know. I don't know where you are, but don't do that. You know, either be hot or cold. Because if you're lukewarm, it repulses him.
Amen. Right.
Spits you out of his mouth. Man, I don't need that. I started real slow. I started really, really weak. And all I know is I want to finish strong. And I will tell you, beyond a shadow of a doubt, he's alive.
Amen.
Gates and doors are barred and all the windows fastened down. Spent the night asleep, listening rose and every sound. Having hopeless sorrow, having villainy. Find the soldiers breaking through to drag us all away. It was just before the sunrise, I heard something at the wall. The gate began to rattle, and a voice began to call. I hurried to the window, looked down into the street, expecting swords, torches, the sound of soldiers' feet. There was no one there but Mary, so I went down to let her in. John stood there beside me, and she told me where she'd been. She said someone's moved at midnight, and none of us knows where. Something rolled way down in the fire there. So we both ran toward God, till John ran on the dead. Found something empty too, just wait for the winding sheet there at me, just an empty shell. How can they take it? There's more than I can tell. Oh, something strange had happened there, just what I did not know. John believed a miracle, but I just turned to gold. Circumstance and speculation could have lifted me very high. I'd seen him crucified, and I saw him die. Back inside the house again, the guilt and anguish came. Everything I promised him just added to my shame. When at last it came to choices, I knew his name. Even if he was alive, it wouldn't be the same. When suddenly the air was filled with a strange and sweet perfume. Light came from everywhere, glowed shadows from the room. When Jesus stood before me with his eyes that open wide, I fell on my knees and clung to him and cried. And as he raised me to my feet, and as I looked into his eyes, love was shining out from him like sunlight from the sky. Into my confusion, disappeared with sweet release. Every fear I ever had just melted into peace.
Verse on Amazing Grace.